I play in love and light. I invite the Council of Light to join us now. We are indeed the Council of Light. Our function is to delineate information as it comes through, to channel it to the proper channels and assist individuals as needed on their journey. This specific council has a close relationship with this channel who is speaking at the moment. That is why this connection has been made in the past and is easy to establish at this moment today. With this, we will conclude our greeting and be glad to answer any questions you may have for us.
Thank you. So I would like to know more about the council, like which dimension do you reside on? Are the members from different dimensions and races and so on?
Yes, these are very good questions. We will say that we reside between dimensions as we are not attached to a specific form of existence. As we said, we counsel many, we have many functions, and our state of vibration, which is really what you're asking about when you ask about dimension or density, changes based on the task at hand. So you would say that our residence of dimension of residence changes constantly. Now, you asked if we are from different races. The composition as it is has been this way for longer than you can perceive of time. So the notion of races is not really relevant, as it is like asking of what body type we have when we are non-physical. So there isn't really the matter of races. However, there is a matter of energies from different systems that can bring different things to the table, including, of course, energies or entities that are related directly to life on Earth and humans on Earth. So they have the relevant, specific attitudes and knowledge to deal with people on your planet, this vehicle being one of them. So there are two members, if we would separate them as such, from our council that are versed in Earth human system. And those members are important in dealing with humans, as they do bring specific experience to the table that may help in decision making, in guiding the individual, as we remind you that the purpose of this council is one of support and guidance. The two individuals, they're not exactly individuals, but the purpose for this conversation, we could call them individuals or energies or entities interchangeably, have much to do with this communication, as we are now communicating to humans and we are aware of such. Now, it is not that there are two individuals, such as people, coming to the front and talking. This is not what's happening. The communication that is taking place right now is not a being to a being, but rather the aspect of this channel that is a part of the council or connected to the council is bringing forth the information to the lower consciousness part of this vehicle. This is how this information is being retrieved. So it's not one individual giving information to another individual. However, as we mentioned, those two aspects that are most versed in human life are very active when interacting with humans such as yourselves. We will say then that our council deals with many beings and many species, and here the word race can be used as we tend to many beings on your planet and off your planet.
When it comes to communicating with humans, does the council work directly with the human, or do you communicate with our spirit guides or others?
During the time you are in a physical body, what you call incarnation on this planet, the communication is done through higher aspects of yourselves, including your guides. However, when you transition from this physical existence to a more energetic one, you come to us. And at that point, with the assistance of your higher self and your guides, we communicate, interact really directly with you as you come to us for counsel. So the interaction is both direct and personal, but also general and to higher aspects, depending on the need and depending on the availability. Now, we will say that your council members and your guides are one of the same. However, there are helpers that are not as a part of the council, and the council is not involved in a way that you would consider hands-on throughout your life. There is a record being kept of your actions and achievements. The vehicle says it sounds scary that we keep records of all your actions, but you could think of it as an automatic process that occurs as everything you do has an energetic pattern, and this pattern does not dissipate when the action is finished. So we are aware of your individual life journey. However, as we mentioned, we are not hands-on. We do not manipulate your life as you go about your life. And when you come to us at the end of each incarnation, although we do hold the awareness of all that happened, we do not go over each detail with you. As we said, we are here to counsel and guide. The vehicle is coming up with an example that is acceptable. And she is saying, when you come to a counselor or a therapist, in this 1 hour, you cannot actually tell your whole life story, but you focus on what's relevant for you at that time. This is similar. When you come to us, your whole life, your whole experience is there. Not only your last incarnation, but your essence as a being is apparent to us and available for us to examine, not for the purpose of judgment, but for the purpose of counseling and assisting in deciding your next move and what you could focus on to bring greater joy to yourself and others.
Is there a way, after we ask for guidance from you, is there a way that I can prepare to be able to receive better? And what can I do to bring it on where I can connect?
While you are in a physical body, the communication and interaction happens in a way that you can't really detect, as they become a part of your environment and a part of your individual psyche. So the best thing that you can do to receive our counsel or any of your guides is maintain clarity, maintain the state of flow, and maintain non-judgmental inner introspection. These are key to integrating, to being open to receive whatever guidance is being sent your way, and at the same time being able to integrate this guidance or this direction, nudge in a certain direction into your actual life. So because this communication, while you are inhabiting a physical body, is on such a subtle level for you, the best way for you to be able to receive any advice, any counsel, and utilize it is, as we mentioned, being open to it, being in the state of flow, being open also to inner view without self-deprecation, and the willingness to integrate any realization into your life, as between the realization and the action or integration, there is a big gap. And some of you are better than others in integrating new realizations into your being, as others may have many realizations and many good ideas, but practically continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. Those people may be in the state of flow in receiving communication, which you may experience as ideas. However, if you do not take the time to integrate them into your action, into your practical lives, you will not get much benefit from them. So there are different aspects to our interactions with you and how you can best implement our counsel and guidance. We would like now to address this vehicle's question. She is a little confused, as one of you asked about guides, and we answered that we are one of the same. This does not fit with what she had in mind, and she's asking for further clarification about it. Each of you have many guides at their disposal. Most of these guides are aspects of yourselves in different, what you would consider existences. They are a part of who you are in desire to bring all your pieces together in an enlightened state. Most guidance that you are receiving, most contact that you are making is with those other aspects of yourselves. So you may be communicating with a guide that feels completely amorphous and general and vague, when if you had a slightly different perception, you would see that you and this vast amorphous guide are actually two faces of the same coin. You are two facets of the same diamond, as there are many, many more than two sides to your beautiful coin. But there is a sameness to all your parts that you are unable to perceive, even ones that seem very far apart to your eyes. The council has an element of your beingness, but also element of other beingness that is quite different than the guides that interact with you day to day. However, as we said, there is a portion of it. We could explain this better in percentage. So if the council is 100%, we would say that 80% of it is more general and 20% of it is more tailored to you on a personal level with your personal guides who are aspects of your own self. We hope these strange concepts can become more familiar to you as you continue on this journey and learn to expand more and more your understanding of what is an intelligence, what is an entity, what is a being, since it is not an individual consciousness, not always an individual consciousness, the way you are used to it when you think about your own self and your own mind. We are ready for more questions, should you have any.
Can I ask a follow-up question about the different aspects of ourselves that are our guides? Do you mean like having parallel lives or future lives?
You may see them as parallel lives, which are actually maybe a more accurate concept. But indeed, we're talking about aspects of yourself from all time, if you may look at it that way. So think about aspects of yourself that had 1,000,000 years to advance and develop. This aspect of yourself is still a part of yourself and is still in communication with you today. Now, shall you meet this aspect of yourself, you would not recognize it as yourself, but as an advanced being, which by then would have a very different composition than you can comprehend if we're talking about evolution of 1,000,000 years. So this would be an example of an aspect of yourself that you can communicate with that to you today would seem a separate and external part of yourself, but in reality, there is a direct link from your beingness to its beingness. So this is one example. And we feel you are also asking about existences on other planets and other star systems. And we will say, yes, those are included as well. Each one of you is in interaction with the ones that are most relevant for you at this time, as this also changes to some degree throughout your life. So you at any point may be in communication with different aspects of yourself, with different fields of expertise and different tasks and different abilities, and they interact with other parts based on the need. You can imagine each part being a dot connected by a string. So you have many, many, many dots and many, many, many strings, and they're all connected to one center body. And through this one brain, one body, all the strings and all the dots communicate with each other, being pulled depending on what needs to happen for all the dots move towards enlightenment and integration. So the main body knows what part needs to move based on how it feels. And this is a very natural process, the same way your fingers go to scratch an itchy bite. You don't even need to consciously know the bite is there. It just happens automatically. Your fingers, your hand will find whatever is different, whatever requires attention. This is a similar process. The whole body that is you, and here we're including all the aspects of your higher self and all the aspects of yourselves, knows, feels automatically, naturally, what pieces need to work together in order to provide each other what they most need for this journey. Is this answer clear?
Yes, we just wanted to confirm if all of our aspects of ourselves have the same higher self.
Yes, indeed. The higher self connects all the aspects of the self. Now, even when you say higher self, you may be referring to different things using the same words, and that is a part of the problem with language. We are using some big ideas and some vague ideas to be conveyed with very specific words, as this is this process of communication. However, of course, from our end and from your end, it does leave a lot of place for miscommunication. And we will say sometimes we allow for miscommunication to remain as long as it is not counter-indicative for your understanding and growth. As sometimes the process of splitting hairs would be more detrimental than a specific understanding of this or that. So we will say here, when you say higher self, you may be referring to different things as spirit, soul, and higher self can be used interchangeably depending on your current understanding. However, there is a higher self that indeed is the point of convergence of all your higher aspects of your specific patterns and complex that is you. So there is one higher self to all your different aspects. And we will say this higher self includes millions of aspects of yourself. So it is that vast.
So my question is, you're talking a lot about parallel lives, which I'm fascinated by. And so this comes into mind for two things that I'm curious about, if you could make a connection. One is when one, such as the vehicle that you're using, has the capability to channel or speak in a light language or use sound in order to make connection. What is your feedback on those capabilities in terms of, are we then accessing those past or future lives and that type of knowledge in order to be able to do these things now in this life? And how is sound playing a part in that connection?
So all knowledge exists within your subconscious. So you may see it as you connecting to a parallel life in order to draw information. And in some cases, this is more or less accurate. However, there is much knowledge that you would not necessarily attach to a specific life. You could call it soul knowledge, for example, as some things are fundamental to all. Now, it is easier for some people than others to allow a flow of information from the subconscious, which does include information from other lives, also includes light language, musical abilities, and other things that have to do with sound and music. And we will say that when you use non-verbal sounds or light language, it is a way to channel information, to bring through information and connect to information and receive information, bypassing the critical side of your brain that would be too attached to specific words and language. So we were just mentioning the plethora of misunderstandings that happen on a regular basis when we communicate with you verbally. Communication that is nonverbal, and we will consider light language as nonverbal here because your critical side of the brain does not understand the words. And often there are no words. Often it is a transmission of energy being expressed in a specific way. In this specific example, the specific way is sounds that you would consider light language other than a spoken language. So this is an opportunity for you to receive the vibration in their more, we could say, pure form, depending on the specific example. When we talk about light language, once again, there is the matter of clarity of the channel and experience, practice of the channel that are important in the production of light language. However, it does not have to be called light language. It can be humming or umming or singing or listening to other sounds in any way. And those transfer information just as much as verbal language, just in a different way, therefore covering different scope. This could relate to the conversations that you had prior to this session about specific versus general. So if you asked us for our name, we could give you a name as Council of Light. These are specific words and are very specific. However, if we answer with a tone that represents us, which of course is limiting with this vehicle's voice, but if we say our name is you may be able to feel our tone, but the information here is more general, more vast, less specific, which means it can include textures that the words Council of Light cannot, but it also lacks the specificity that so often your human brain craves and clings to.
That was terrific. Thank you.
We hope you found this helpful. We enjoyed sharing this interaction with you. And know that for all of you, this is just the beginning.